Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's debate. Today, we will be discussing the motion lectures should dominate the students, and students must follow whatever the lecturer says and instruct them to do. As recently, many of students questioning whether they should or not follow whatever the lecturer says, because sometimes they disagree with that or even against it. Our debate today centers on the role of lecturers and students' autonomy. There will be two speakers. The first speaker, Edina, as the proposition team, will arguing in favor of the motion, and the second speaker is Nata, as the opposition team will arguing against it. Each of speaker will have 5 minutes to deliver the arguments. Without any further ado, let's begin the debate. For the first speaker, Aidina, time is yours. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here today in support of the motion that lecturers should dominate the student and student must follow whatever the lecturer said and told them to do. I firmly believe that this method of education holds immense value in shaping disciplined and knowledgeable individuals. Firstly, let us consider the expertise of the lecturer. Lecturers are often highly qualified professionals in their field, possessing years of experience and knowledge. By allowing lecturers to dominate the student, we ensure that students receive information directly from experts, eliminating the potential for misinformation or confusion that may arise from independent study or unreliable sources. According to a study conducted by the National Center for Biotechnology Information, students who receive this kind of lecture-based instruction perform significantly better on standardized tests compared to those in student-led learning environments. This data underscores the effectiveness of lectures in conveying complex information and fostering deep understanding. Secondly, the proposition asserts that by adhering the guidance of lecturers, students learn valuable lessons in discipline and respect. In a world where these virtues are increasingly undervalued, it is crucial that educational institutions instill them in the next generation. Research, research published in the Journal of Educational Psychology indicates that students who adhere to strict academic guidelines, including following instruction from lecturers, demonstrate higher levels of self-discipline and motivation. By embracing a hierarchical structure within the classroom, we prepare students for success not only in academic but also in their future careers. Finally, by advocating for the dominance of lecturing, we uphold the integrity of academic institutions. Lecturers are responsible for curating course content, ensuring that it meets rigorous academic standards and remains relevant to the subject matter. Allow students to dictate the direction of their education undermines this integrity, potentially diluting the quality of instruction and devaluing the qualification earned. In conclusion, the proposition firmly believes that lectures should dominate the student and student must follow whatever the guidance of the lectures. So efficiency, discipline, and the preservation of academic integrity. This approach to education ensures that students receive the best possible learning experience. And we do believe whatever the lecture says, whatever the lecture instructs students to do, it's all from their thought or the student well-being for the student right. I think that's enough from me. Thank, Thank you so much, Saidina, for your insightful arguments. Now we move on to the second speaker. Please welcome Isnata. Thank you for the opportunity given. Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand in the opposition to the motion that lectures should dominate the student and the student must follow whatever the lecturer said and told them to do. I believe that such approach stifles creativity, critical thinking, and autonomy, essential qualities for success in the modern world. First and foremost, it is crucial to recognize that education is not solely about transmission of knowledge, but also about the development of critical thinking skills and autonomy. By advocating for the dominance of lectures and unquestioning obedience, we risk creating passive learners who lack the ability to think independently and critically assess information. Research from the Harvard Graduate School of Education highlights the importance of fostering autonomy in education, stating that students who are encouraged to question, challenge, and explore ideas independently demonstrate higher levels of academic achievement and long-term success. Furthermore, the proposition stance fails to acknowledge the diverse learning styles and needs of students. While lectures may be effective for some individuals, they may not cater to the needs of visual, auditory, or kinesthetic learners. By imposing a one-size-fits-all approach to education, we exclude and disadvantage students who might thrive through alternative teaching methods or independent exploration. A study published in the Journal of Educational Psychology found that students who have the opportunity to engage in active learning experiences such as group discussion, hands-on activities, and project-based learning demonstrate high levels of engagement, retention, and understanding compared to those in lecture-dominated classrooms. Finally, in a rapidly changing world driven by innovation and adaptability, it is essential that education prepares students to navigate uncertainty and think creatively. By prioritizing lectures and rote memorization, more experiential learning and critical inquiry, we inhibit students' ability to adapt to new challenges and contribute meaningfully to society. Research from the World Economic Forum emphasized the importance of fostering innovation and creativity in education, stating that these skills are among the most sought after by employers in today's job market. By embracing a more flexible and student-centered approach to education, we equip students with the skills they need to thrive in an ever-evolving landscape. In conclusion, I firmly believe that lectures should not dominate the student and blind obedience to authority figures should not be promoted in educational settings. Instead, we advocate for a more inclusive, diverse, and student-centered approach that empowers learners to think critically, explore independently, and adapt to the challenge of the future. And also, if students just follow whatever the lecturer says, even though they're against it or disagree with it can make the chance of the students to show their real feeling, their opinion is just a view. And it's not how it should be, because students must learn how to say their real opinion, their real thought. I think that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the second speaker too. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a thought-provoking debate in the motion. Lecture should dominate students and students must follow whatever the lecturer said and instruct them to do. We can conclude that the proposition team argued that it's important for students to follow whatever the lecturer says and instruct them to do, because it will maintain an effective learning process. And also, lecturer is someone who we can rely on because they are experienced and knowledgeable people. On the other hand, from the opposition team counterweight, if we follow mostly everything this lecturer said or instruct them to do, the students will have just a few chance to show their real feeling, to say their thoughts, because the lecturer will take most of the speech part, and that's not what it should be, because students must learn how to show their feelings, how to say their opinion. Thank you so much for your attention, and with that, I officially state that this debate is closed. Thank you. See you next time.